Hey, it's Mobb Guppy, where the Guppy is the mob. That was a text we just got from our boy Doug Gray. Ambus Aquatics, Cooper Aquatics. How y'all doing? Logan, what is up? Um, yeah, so I got a haircut. Did that yesterday. I had a hell of a weekend. Went to a table sale. Sold several bags of the California Reds, which was good. Yeah, so that's into water changes. Good. I need to get that done. It's so I was at table sale, did fairly well, and I got home and I had some bags left over, as you always do. I was floating those things. I get a call, and my boss at work died. Holy capoly. He was 47 years old. 47. What's up, Petroman 1185 from Toms River, New Jersey. Yeah, real good guy, family guy. Posiwi. Yeah, so again, everybody, take care of yourself. If you don't feel well, go to the doctor. He wasn't feeling well for a couple of days. And, just take care of yourselves. That's all I can say. But, I was on conference calls all weekend long. I got home from the table sale, I don't know, I don't know, 5 p.m. or so, and took Bolo for his walk. Started to sort of think about what I was going to have for dinner, and then boom. So I ordered a pizza. Had some bourbon. There you go. Potties. Petite tanks. I'm doing fine. It's my boss passing was real tough. Real tough. And today at the office was emotionally draining. If you have not gone through a thing where you've been in a workplace where somebody has just suddenly died, it's really difficult. And because it's just difficult. So today was emotionally draining. They're doing the funeral on Wednesday. I feel sorry for his wife and kid. They're really good people. I like them a lot. It's the people at the office were numb because you have sometimes you have bosses, and there are bosses that you have to work for. You got to make a living, and they're a pain in the butt. And then you have bosses that are pushovers. That's really not that fun. But when you have a boss this guy's the boss, there's no question about it. And he's a straight shooter, says what's on his mind. It's you can disagree with him. You can have that, but he's got the final word. That's rare to get, everybody. A lot of times you have a boss and you disagree with them about something. And by the way, good people can disagree. If you're a workplace, it's all on the boss. If he or she are not doing the job that's important, and they will get moved out at some point. It's always that way. So a good boss is a good boss. That's what's tough. And we all love this guy. So, yeah, I don't want to make this into an obituary, but we're all, again, just take care of yourselves, everybody. Take care of yourselves. And so went to the table sale at Scales and Tails. in beautiful Joplin, Mo, and it was actually pretty busy. It was actually busier than the Northwest Arkansas Aquarium Society. Sold some fish. We actually had TV coverage for it, which was insane. Thank you, Patty. I think I've said what I can about my buddy Chad, who passed away. Um, I think I have said what I need to say. But just remember, everybody, it's it is again, take care of yourselves, watch out for others. So there you go. I sold guppies. I sold swordtails and California reds. All the California reds disappeared. Thank you, Patty. The California reds sold very quickly. So that's good. As I expand and have more and more tanks of them, it's really good. I'm happy with them. And by the way, one of the guys there was selling guppies. Really a nice guy. I got a new friend named Russell, and he's not far from me. He's in Springfield, and he had the green dragons and the red dragons. Pretty nice looking fish. Um, the problem with the dragons, which are really hot right now because they're colorful, beautiful tails, all that sort of thing, is that they are it takes a long time for those males to look beautiful. It takes sometimes 5-6 months for the colors to fully come in. So if you order some online or what have you, or from a breeder in Asia, or get some at a trusted LFS, realize those fish are old. They are old, and so it's really important that first drop you get as many of those fry as possible, because they take a long time to mature. In fact, you'll want to breed. Hey, the man who on his dating profile named his private parts Area 51, Peter Thiel. So you go in, and Doug, we're talking a little bit about dragon guppies and red dragon, green dragon. And there was a guy really a nice guy. I now have a new friend who's a guppy guy. And he's a big fan, by the way, of Doug Gray. Came out. He loves your jokes. So, but you get into the 50 Shades of Doug Gray. Yeah. So you go in and you deal with these dragon guppies. The males, are a lot, they're 5-6 months old. And quite frankly, and Doug, you correct me where I'm wrong here, because you have these, is that when you get to that 5 months and that male's finally maturing, well, you want your females to be dropping their first thing of fry by the time they're at 4.5-5 months. So you don't want to wait to breed them to males that are inferior. So you're sort of hoping your older males hang out longer so you can use them, because you know what you have there. I think it's one of the great problems with that. You use older males back to the next generation of females, yeah. Yeah, it's hey, good morning, Fish Fam. My Fish Tanks Aquatics. Are you one of our Aussies? Where are you from? Barbara Jackson. How are you? Do you have fry yet from your California Reds? It's worse with the mosaic big ears than it is with the dragon guppies. Yeah, I liked what this guy had. They looked great, but there you go. They went to the mutt tank. All five of them, a pair and three fry. Vinoski tanks. Did I miss you? There you are. Oh, you're from Woodstock, Illinois. You typed the wrong thing. Okay, well, I thought you were an American. Let's see here. Not that I don't love our Aussies. And by the way, it's the younger ones are coloring up nicely. Very good. You'll get fry soon. Problem with dragon guppies that they are inferior ones coming in from Vietnam or Vietnam. Yeah, I think that's fair. Pepling Creek Aquatics, how are you doing? Happy Monday. Yeah, so dealing with genetics and guppies, uh, the guy with me, Russell, was talking to me about swordtails and swordtail crosses. I said it's not simple Mendel genetics. In fact, I have one strain I'm working on that I have now in multiple tanks, and I'll show off here now that I'm getting close. They are swordtail crosses. In fact, I added, California Reds. That's what I call them. They're beautiful. So, it's just not simple stuff. You're again afraid to order fish. Posiwi, here's the deal. Get them from people you know and trust. And, if you're getting guppies, go to somebody like Doug Gray. Go to somebody like me if you like my fish. Go to somebody that I'm more than happy to tell you who you should talk to. More than happy to. Or a buddy John Oliver. But again, when you import fish, it's again, finding the right type of guppies is a big deal. So yeah, it's just amazing. So yeah, the California Reds, big at the show. So one of our local TV stations did a report. I threw it up on the Mobb Guppy Facebook page. If you want to see it, you'll see swordtails and California grays. The place had absolutely the worst lighting, but it ended up being okay. Got fish coming tomorrow from the wet spot. First time trying them. Favorite Cali reference is Stag's Leap Cabernet or Cabaret. Cabernet, it's a wine. There you go. California Red. Okay, I get it. I'm a little slow today, everybody. The thing to look for and to ask is to see the females. Some wholesalers send the wrong females, and then you get a lot of crapola. Hey, Chattanooga Ed. All right, now were you guys at who went to Aquashella? Did you go to Aquashella? Who was there? I didn't go, obviously. I want to hit one. I'll try to do one later on this year. You won a red lizard catfish from Dan's, and UPS messed it up. Sent my fish back. Ouch! Yuck. Fishymon 64. Getting outside canceled. Few others not shipping in the triple digits. Yeah, there you go. Ali Shan went dressed up as Svengoolie. Got some solidish yellow and red tails from metallics coming out of your yellow cobras. Is that common? 70% true is okay. You would hope that you'd be getting 90% true on everything, but it's not. What's that basically saying, Barbara? That line isn't set yet. So just if you like the cobras, make sure they're separated and do a little bit of inbreeding to get that going in. And if you like some of the things they're throwing, well, put those in separate aquariums and figure it out. Hey, Crystals, Pets and Plants. How are you doing, Crystal? Fishymon 64. Let's see who else is here. It's it's a good group of people tonight. Love having you all here. Hit a like if you want to. My drink of the evening is the wonders of Diet 7-Up or 7-Up Cherry Zero Sugar. Chan Law Monkey. Yeah, so there you go. Super red longfins from a fish farm. That's what you got when you're down there? That's great. I'm just really happy with my Santa Claus guppies. There you go. I'll tell you what, at least in my last several shippings, is that I didn't ship anything out this week. And I don't have anything going out so far for next week, but then I'm going to be off for a little bit because I'm going on vacation. My last several shipments, and I mean, Joplin Mo, I'm everything goes to Kansas City through Springfield. So it's like about a 6-hour away deal. Nevada and Phoenix are 110. No thanks. Yeah, I get it. Is that I shipped to Miami a couple of weeks ago and South Carolina, in the middle of nowhere, South Carolina. And both packages got there in 2 days. I also sent something to, I can't remember where in Indiana, and again, 2 days. So, Mr. Manifesto, how are you? Hey, well, how about those Islanders? They're playing pretty good hockey. How long has it been since the Islanders have been any good? 1980s? I mean, now they're pretty legit. They could win the whole thing this year. I think they're for real. They're very real. So, yeah, again, when you're buying guppies, it's get from someone you trust. It's realize that I think I always try to ask for an extra female. I always ship, by the way. When you order from me, you're always getting at least an extra female or two. I may include an extra male as well. I always do that. You know why? I have had fish arrive from great places, by the way, and where all of a sudden one doesn't ship well. It happens. It's and so when you add a couple extra, if there is something that for whatever reason has problems in shipment, It could be anything, just it could be the stress just too much for the fish. I always try to add extras. Now, there are sometimes people won't add extras. Let's say if they have, you know, if resellers, I think, have a hard time doing extras because it's just they've shipped things in from Asia to resell. They're buying in bulk, and it's not like they're raising them in their room. I don't do reselling, and I'm not critical of anyone who does. Obviously, I have friends who do reselling. They're good people. But it's so again, remember that that's the deal. So the Islanders have been good since the new ownership hired Trotz. When did they sell? I should know this, but I'm not in hockey country. And when I was in New York, we did business with the Islanders. So I got to know the previous ownership. If it is it's now owned by ownership. Yeah, Scott Malkin. Yeah, they were previously owned by Wang, by Mr. Wang, who owned Wang Computers. And his son-in-law, for the longest time, was the president of the team. And really a good guy. I like them a lot. So let's see here. We're now talking about Mets. Alishan, are you a Mets fan or are you a Yankees fan? Surely if you like the Jets, you like the Mets. I think it's just because it has shorter letters. It is 4 letters. It's easy. Mets and Jets kind of rhymes as well. I swear to you, it's good luck finding that Giants Mets fan in New York. Pretty difficult. I will say this though about the Giants crowd over the Jets crowd. Charles Wang, yeah. Awful GM hirings, yeah. Nice guy though, good people. But yeah, sometimes people can't. They're not hockey people. So there you go. So if you go in and look at what was we were discussing before I fell off the thing. Oh, Guppy Genetics. Discussing that. Is that, hey, Peplin, are you a Jets fan? Are you a Mets fan? That's what we want to know. Mets fan and Nets fans. Mets, Jets, Nets when they played on in Long Island. Yeah. What do you think about New York? They're pretty original with their team names. Yankees, great name. Giants is a fine name. You quit watching baseball back after the strike? Peplin Creek Aquatics, what year was that strike? But you were a Yankee fan. Jets, Yankees fan. There you go. There you go. So, yeah, getting to this conversation about Guppy genetics, it's not simple Mendel genetics. Remember when you were like in junior high or high school, they went through genetics with you? I did really well. So, for instance, I have They're kind of like bluish gray eyes. Melvin, how are you, buddy? So, my parents both have brown eyes. My mom's were more hazel brown. My dad's were, dark brown. My brother has the hazel brown eyes. My sister the dark brown eyes. I got the grayish, bluish, greenish eyes. Well, that's simple Mendel genetics. So both of my parents had to be carrying the blue gene. And out of three kids, having one with those eyes makes sense. Now, my sister is probably a double dominant brown. Her husband has brown eyes, but his mother has blue eyes. So if you go by simple Mendel genetics, is that I have two nephews and a niece. Is that they have a 50% chance to be carrying blue eyes, as for if they married a woman with or a man with because I had a niece and all who married somebody with blue eyes. Well, there's a chance there they could have blue-eyed children. So there you go. So that's just simple Mendel genetics. Guppy genetics do not work that way at all. I have worked with them, and it's like I have this cross that I have made. And I've showed them a little bit, but not much. Is that they are collaboration of curiosities. How are you? So these people, is that it's just not that easily defined. In fact, I added a swordtail male in with this cross, which is a swordtail cross, and I have not gotten a swordtail male, and I'm 4 or 5 generations into this thing. So there you go. Muppet 929, how are you? So there you go. So again, it's not as simple as you would think it would be, right? You're all into the idea that it would be simple genetics. And I'll give you how complex this is. I have a dog that's black and tan, right? Now, normally you would think a black dog is dominant. But in Pomeranian genetics, it's a recessive. In fact, neither of his parents were black and tan. One was red, one was orange, and when they bred together, they got this. So that is how it works. So it, again, Bolo had a litter with a cream, and the puppies were what? They were cream. So again, what's recessive is recessive. What's dominant is dominant. It's not necessarily an easy thing. And sometimes there are multi-factors going into it. If you've read any of the Guppy genetics books, I mean, it is a long list. And I don't claim to be hey, lumpy dog. By the way, guess who just sort of walked into the room, sort of limped in? Deaf dog. Let me give him the signal. He's just looking at me. He'll come here when he wants to. So again, genetics is genetics. It's just not as simple as one would think. So it John Oliver is a great guy. He made me one of the moderators on the All About Guppies. And somebody said, well, if I breed this guppy to this guppy, what would I get? And I just said, not that easy to predict. He wanted to breed a green dragon to a red dragon. And so I said, you may get something that looks like nothing. I appreciate him wanting to try it out. And someone piped up, oh, you'll get 2/3 red dragons. You may not even get any dragons. It's a very complicated putt. Yeah, it is wild how some color genes can affect other color genes and guppies in really weird ways sometimes. So there's this guy in Hawaii, I think it's called Kaibuki, a backyard, and he bred like a half black metallic or a half black blue metallic to the Sunset Micariff guppy. And that first generation, let me just tell you something, it looks like mud. Most people, if they would have made that cross, they would have just said, okay, let me bring it to the fish store and be done with it. But this guy bred it generation after generation after generation. So there you go. Turns out human genes are dominant over alien lizard genes. That's why we all need those COVID vaccinations. By the way, I've gotten my COVID vaccination. It's I hope you all did. If you didn't, I don't judge you. But gang, it's worth getting. So it's like the flu vaccine. It doesn't necessarily guarantee you won't get the flu, but it's very helpful. All right, there we go. So guppy genetics are very complicated. And no one has done more crosses than, ladies and gentlemen, Doug Gray. If you haven't seen his channel, he does a lot of crosses. A lot. And they're pretty good. It's pretty fascinating to see what he gets. And I have a bunch of really large female guppies. Came with no male, so I have no clue of what to try until one has fry. Yeah. Yeah, and the deal is, I disagree. Alien dreams are dominant. Well, there you go. And by the way, whose genes are alien? Just get the jab. Yeah, I've been jabbed, not a problem. He has great guppy videos and some even better jokes. Occasionally he'll hit it out of the park with a joke, and then there's sometimes you're going, ooh. But yeah, he did. I forget what he did just recently that I thought was pretty doggone funny. Okay, here's what's going on with the elbow. Went to the doctor, tennis elbow. They gave me a cortisone shot. Still hurts a little bit, but I can now move it around without pain. I have to actually do water changes. You had two good jokes in the last video. You're not sure how it happened. Mike from Kansas. Where's Mike from Kansas tonight, by the way? He usually dishes out some pretty good ones. You know what? Where is... I just lost track of my thing. The one female I got ended up with half of the males presenting her as half black. The other males presenting presenting as these crazy orange-black camo with a blue sheen. I can't wait to see F2s. Yeah, water change elbow is for reals, exactly. Yeah, it's feeling much better. I have to actually, I need to do water changes. Hey, Fish Keeping Jamaica! How are you doing, my friend? It's great having you here. So, again, I keep saying this over and over again. I hate to be a broken record on it. Have a goal for what you're trying to do. Now, sometimes you may not get the goal. For instance, I made this one cross, and my thing that I wanted to do, which I was told genetically was impossible, and so far it's turning out to be pretty true. I wanted to get blonde cobra, half blonde red cobra swordtails. That was the goal. I ain't getting it. So I've got now some real funky looking gold ones that I'm breeding and hopefully will set in a line. And I've got these red ones that look great. So there you go. And here's Bolo right here. He's just sort of chilling like a villain. Tomorrow he goes to the vet for his annual exam and to get his dog influenza shots. And on Wednesday, he's going to go to daycare for the day because that's the way it goes. The great thing is you can't sing, so broken record can't slide. There you go. That's funny. Hold on, the next shipment. The DEA has been sniffing around my door. Put out 2 tubs, and the raccoons have already been messing with them. One of them took a floating thermometer. God help us. Crazy. Yeah, here it's okay. Just so you don't have your units go off. 1 second.
Right now, it's 90 degrees Fahrenheit.
90.
Expect a low of 67 degrees.
67 tonight. This morning.
You can look for clear skies with temperature.
So tomorrow, or this morning when I woke up, is 63. Rock and roll. Triple J Aquatics. How are you doing? Great having you here. Yeah, and sub, please sub. Love having everybody here. Thank you guys so much. 17 here, 14 thumbs up. Love having you here. And yeah, so it's all good. And so, yeah, I took Bolo out today. He was very happy. I got something for the fish room because my small pump died, and so I needed to get a new one. Okay, you want to get down? Okay. Say hi to everybody. And he may have gotten close to opening his mouth. I mean, like, his teeth are falling out like no tomorrow. So there you go. Okay, so here's unboxing. We'll do right here. Right here, this is a pump for a water pump for the smallest aquariums. Wow. See here? Oh, wow. Look at this. Hope they sent me the right thing. Oh, there we go. Yep. I actually have okay. Oh. I'm gonna have to take the other one I had. I hope I didn't throw that out. I'm gonna have to grab the other one, I think. Let's see here. Ah. This here. Goes on the top here like this. There we go. There we go. We got a water pump for water changes. Mine died last week, and I had to go and get one. Can't stay, y'all. Hope everyone has a great night. Thank you very much, Triple J. Glad to have you here. Unboxing inside a live stream. Totally unheard of. It's the type of bonus you get here every week. Yeah, this is a 10-gallon tanks, and this pumps 64 gallons an hour. Takes a grand total of going through, throwing in about 4 or 5 minutes, and there you go. A tiny item in a huge box. The box isn't that big, but, hey. Your private unboxing today of your fish stuffed flakes. There you go. 5 types, which I will mix. There you go. Push your finger in the socket to test for electric power. There you go. Don't shock yourself plugging in that strange item. No, I won't. I'll be good. I love them, by the way. I think they're absolutely terrific. I have to do it on the bottom, and to get rid of the mold, I have to use like a net and net out the dirt on the bottom. It is what it is. Is what it is. No, it's not Jamaican rum. This is 0 sugar cherry 7-Up. It's pretty tasty. No, I know that, Raleigh. I was joking. I know you didn't. So it's you hear Bolo cough in the background. Not good. Now I slur as I speak. There you go. Yeah, cherry 7-Up, good. No sugar, extra chemicals, just like Mom used to make. Exactly. P? Yeah, poor little Bolo. He's an old guy. He's going on vacation with me, and friends of mine. I have some friends in Des Moines, and they said, well, don't stay in a hotel, stay with us. Here's the problem, and I haven't spoken with them about this, but I'm going to, is that they have a dog, and Bolo is intact. He can make babies, Pomeranian, and because he's deaf, what? Didn't we Bolo last week? Be on the lookout, everybody. I think I'm going to put him in the backyard for a few minutes. Hold on a second. You're turning into Bolo? Yeah, you have the congestive heart thing. That's not a good deal at all. So hold on a second here. Come on, Bolo. I'm going to put you outside. Because I think that's what he wants, everybody. I think that is what he wants. see. All right, he's outside. Sort of had to look in the backyard to see if the neighbor cats, even though he likes the neighbor cats, it's pretty cool. But as long as a hawk doesn't come along, I'll be in pretty good shape. Yeah, so yeah, I just put him outside. He can be there for the next 15 minutes or so. My yeah, so the swap meet was mainly people selling corals. This was not a big one. There was only 7 exhibitors at this thing, but 4 of them were selling corals. Now, one of the coral sellers was selling some African cichlids, but there you go. By the way, have you ever had hot in the middle of winter, which I know we're not there yet. In the winter, if you get a cold, may I recommend some 151 in a hot buttered rum. That will fix what ails you. Trust me. You will be a new man or woman, human, binary, non-binary. You'll love it. Absolutely. That's a good winter drink, by the way. Even if you don't have a cold, you know, it's like 10 below zero outside. Sip on that sucker. So there you go. So yeah, getting back to the Guppy genetics, though, it's a very complicated thing. And I think one of the reasons why, like, the big Asian places is that they work together, these Asian farms, coming up with these new strains. And I will tell you, it's very, very helpful. By the way, Doug Gray, you had those metalhead blues, which are just awesome. Mulled wine is pretty good too. Yeah. I actually have a couple of bottles of wine. I don't have a bottle opener for wine. The ex-wife got it. So I need to pick one of those up. I got 3 bottles. It was like a special. One of my buddies wanted to know if I'd buy in with it. And I said, okay. And I gave some to the next door neighbors. They invited me over for like, I think it was Easter. I brought it over for Easter. So I have these 2 bottles sitting in here, and I probably need to get them out. Barbados Mount Gay is good stuff. Yeah, it's I'm not overly the top on. I don't do rum on a regular basis. You recently got an electric wine opener. I feel so fancy. Yeah, you do. You are pretty fancy. I don't drink enough of it. I'll occasionally have beer. I'll occasionally have, if I have hard liquor, it's either bourbon or tequila. And so I do have a bottle of Elijah Craig in the house, which is good. That's a nice tasting one. Saw a documentary on TV last night. It proved that humans walked on Earth with the dinosaurs. I think it was called the Flintstones. Yabba dabba doo! Now, were you watching the cartoon or the one with Stephen Baldwin? Mine puts you to sleep faster than Michael's Fish Room tour. Ba-dum-bump. That's funny, Doug. Yeah, tequila. By the way, my ex-wife was Mexican, so I've drank some tequila because the Mexicans love their tequila. There is one tequila that there's a lot of tequila you can buy that's really expensive or not that good. Patron is good, but it's expensive. The one to get, in fact, if you go into the nicest restaurants in Mexico City, they have cloth, the fancy ones. I'm not talking about the McDonald's of Mexican restaurants in Mexico City. I'm talking about the ones with linen tablecloths and stuff. The one they have, and they always have it in the freezer, is Jose Cuervo Tradicional. That's with 2 C's in the middle, not traditional, Tradicional. Yeah, it's really good. It's tequila's actually pronounced tequila, and it will. Not for me. You have a couple of shots of that. I don't have any in the house right now, but I'll occasionally pick one up. Nice. Where's Chewy the Great White North? You have some Aussie questions. I don't know where Chewy is tonight. Feel like we're being let down by our Canadian fellow from America's Hat. He may be at the G7 hanging out with Trudeau. Which, it can't be a bad thing. That looks like a party, huh? Chewy is security there. Yep. Hanging out with the gang. How the heck does Ozzy sing in English? He sure as heck can't speak it because he's British. The British English. It's different than American English. For instance, Lori in the United States is the name of a lady. Lori in Great Britain is a truck. And Lori in hip hop vernacular is back that thing up. All right. It's how Ozzy Osbourne, by the way, has lived to his age is one of the great, great mysteries of all time. How the heck did he live that long? It's one of the great mysteries of life. I think it's because I heard an interview with him and he was semi-coherent and understandable that he had not made a great album yet that would rival Sgt. Pepper's by the Beatles. That's his goal. Keith Richards jeans, clean drugs. They can afford the real good stuff, but again, if you ever watch those narco shows on National Geographic and they show where they're making the cocaine or they're making the meth, like in the middle of the jungle somewhere in Latin America, doesn't look like it. In fact, if you actually showed this to the average person thinking, you know what, I think I may want to try cocaine, a high school kid or something like that, don't use drugs. Show them these things. They're saying, okay, here's a bunch of people with dirty hands who are in the middle of nowhere making these drugs you want to put in your body like this. I like Ozzy because you guys have the same birthday. There you go. Who doesn't like Ozzy Osbourne? Is there anyone really? I think everybody loves the guy. We should all be as blessed as that fellow is. In certain cases, all the alcohol preserves you. No, drugs are not made in pristine, sterile conditions. Who would have thunk it? Who would have thunk it? Who would have thunk it all the way around? I'm going to tell you, I've done a lot of bad things in my life. You know what I have not done? Meth. I haven't done meth. Don't plan on it. I'm planning to avoid it. Planning to avoid it all the way around. And it's just, and I recommend for you not to ever do meth. Big thumbs up. A lot of people, think that fish tube is just a nice thing to go through. Very rarely to get good advice from it. I think I gave good advice. Meth is tang for adults. Just tang for adults. Yeah, just tang for adults. That's a great line. Yeah, just trying to do what I can to avoid it. Meth free is the way to be. Yeah, real world advice. Real world advice. Yeah, it's that's the beauty of these documentaries that you can see like on Narco or the Travel Channel last night, which had this real weird show about Bigfoot, and they always just keep finding bears. Not even a little light meth on the side. That's how it starts, by the way, Barbara. Is though someone says, "Hey, how'd you like a little of this?" And somebody goes, "What is it?" You go, "It's crank. It's meth. A little bit won't hurt you." And they go, "Woo!" And then before they know it, they're standing on a street corner with a sign saying, homeless, trying to get home, yada, yada, yada. Fish Geeks thinks it means Tanganyika. Tanganyika, yeah. That's how we got up on the moon, everybody. Blue meth and tangs. Hold on. I heard someone bark. Let me get him. All right. Your wish is my command. Come on. Come on. All right. Good dog. Okay. He got done whatever he wanted to do out there. He's going to drink water. He may get in my lap. He may go off to the side here. All right. So there you go. So yeah, you could hear him barking. He was sitting at the back door like this. I need to put a step out there. It's kind of like a big thing, so I go from there. So how does someone become a Bigfoot expert? Do you have to been real bad at finding things? I think you're correct. My husband tells jokes or references to the 1970s commercials, and I tell him no one under 50 knows what the heck you're talking about. Exactly correct. Exactly correct, Barbara. I work with a guy who actually tried to explain to a 22-year-old about some joke. You know, you're in trouble if you're trying to explain a joke from the early 70s to a 22-year-old. And I looked at him, I said, Steve, his parents are probably too young to know that show. And he goes, really? So there you go. Mamma mia, that's a spicy. Yeah. Yeah, it's by the way, it's walking around the woods in the middle of the night being paid a lot of money. There you go. Your dog has been obsessed about getting through the fence to get to the neighbor's chickens. It's like they got them to taunt her. Yeah. Hopefully she doesn't escape. Yeah, it's a very skinny dog. Very athletic. Not real good. I remember that as a kid. All right, gang. We've been here for over an hour. I've got to feed Guppies and I guess take him out one more time and get a few things done around the house. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you on Saturday. Really appreciate having you, and all of you here. And again, thank you so much. And remember, Mobb Guppy, where the Guppy is the mob.